Linda in Coconut Creek, Florida. Hey, listen. Hey, Linda, what's on your mind?
Hey, Tom. I just was kind of upset because, well, let me just get it out. You had a 28-year-old conservative that you were talking to earlier. I guess that's what pushed my button. Mm-hmm. I'm 58. I'm 30 years older than him, and I think you got me by 10 years.
Yeah.
So we've lived through the Kennedys and the Reagans, and, I could go on and on. And, my question to him, I have two questions, and I see it firsthand every day, is if he gets his dream wish, we turn everything over to these private companies. What would have happened if George Bush got a hold of our Social Security back in 2008?
Right.
We would have had instant depression.
Yep.
Because these seniors live hand to foot. They do. They can't work. There's no way for them to make up that income. Me and you can't make up that income. It's gone. Once it's gone, it's gone. He can. He's 28, so he could go to something else. But I would love for him to take a look at Canada. I see Canada firsthand every day because they come in, they're snowbirds. There's two parks down here I deliver to. There's the one that's Canadian, and it's called Pine Tree, and then there's Tidewater. That's an American park. The Americans have their little Trump signs and their little logos on their car, and they're dirt poor and can afford nothing in there. It looks like you just want to look
By
like
park, are you talking about trailer parks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, mobile home, manufactured home. Don't call them trailer.
I know.
They'll have a fit.
Yeah. I got it.
And then the other one, they come in, they've got their fancy Escalades, their GMCs, their $80,000, $90,000 trucks when they roll into town with a boat on back that's probably $60,000, $70,000, or they're towing a brand new Harley, which is $30,000. Now, to me, they come into town, there's money. That just says money.
This is the Canadians you're talking about?
I can afford it. Yeah.
Okay.
The Canadians. You come in and you look at Canada, they've done something right, Tom. They can afford to sit down here 6 months and have all these fancy toys.
They have a wealthy middle class. I mean, when I was a kid, and probably when you were a kid too, being 10 years younger than me, Linda, or 9 years younger than me, I mean, I grew up in a lower middle class neighborhood. The house that my dad bought at the time he bought it in 1956 was $13,000. It recently sold for in the 90s for less than $100,000. It was a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. That's what I grew up in, along with my 3 brothers. But we could take a vacation every year. We had several neighbors who had little cabins up on the lake and up on the rivers, up at Houghton.
Lake Oregon, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was like you had a middle class that actually was safe and secure and had a life. And when my dad, when my dad retired, he had a pension and he had an annuity, and it went to my mom when my dad died, and all of that has been ripped away from us by Reaganism and by this libertarian ideology that really the rich people should be in charge of everything, and we need to get rid of the rules that force corporations to treat their employees well, because that's big government after all. So I think your response to Jordan is spot on. Yeah, and Canada still has a middle class.
Right. That's what I'm trying to say is he's all of 28, which I'm not disrespecting his age. But what I'm disrespecting is the fact that we've been going backwards for 30 years, not forward.
40 years, yes.
30, 40 years. Yeah, but I just had to get that out because I was mad when he said, turn it over to private companies. No, that's the last thing in the world you want to do.
Yeah. Amen. Very well said, Linda. Thank you for the story illustrating your point too, because it really makes it, I think, hopefully clear to people. And these are not rich people from Canada. This is the Canadian middle class that has a little money. Gee, what a surprise. The American middle class did at one time too. Linda, thank you for the call. Remarkable.